Ed Pastor liked to say he was a workhorse, not a show horse. Pastor was Arizona's first Latino member of Congress when he was elected in 1991. By the time he retired 23 years later, in 2014, Pastor's reputation was set. A trailblazer for Latinos and a master builder of Phoenix and all of Arizona. But you'd never catch him bragging about it in front of a TV camera. Ed Pastor died last week after suffering a heart attack while eating dinner with his wife, Verma. He was 75 years old. He leaves behind his wife of 53 years, 2 daughters and 4 grandchildren, and a generation of Latino leaders he nurtured. They will gladly tell you they wouldn't be where they are without Ed Pastor.
Ed Pastor called Charlene Fernandez just last week to say congratulations.
Would you be standing here today if it weren't for Ed Pastor?
Absolutely not.
Fernandez ran Pastor's first congressional office in Yuma almost 30 years ago. She's now the top-ranking Democrat in the Arizona House of Representatives.
He called to just make sure that I continue to do good work and that he was there for me.
How much does that mean to you?
It means everything.
This is really a tough moment, isn't it?
It is.
Born in the eastern Arizona mining town of Claypool, Ed Pastor worked as a teacher before launching a political career that would span 12 terms in Congress.
Outside of my parents, I think he was probably the most instrumental person in my life.
Attorney and former staffer Roy Herrera says Pastor broke down barriers for a generation of Arizonans.
Someone who helped build modern Arizona, modern Phoenix, and he was a Latino. He did it. He trailblazed, that for everyone else.
In Congress, Pastor was the go-to guy for money to build big things in Arizona. The Valley's light rail system celebrates its 10th anniversary next month, thanks to Pastor. He had a hand in building Arizona State University's downtown Phoenix campus. And next time you fly into Sky Harbor Airport, thank Ed Pastor for the control tower. But you rarely heard Pastor brag about any of this.
I saw Jay Leno leave. And I said, Jay, if you can go after 20 years on the high note, hey, why not Pastor?
Pastor's retirement announcement in 2013 was one of the few times you would have seen him in front of a camera. He explained it to me 3 years ago on Sunday Square Off, after he retired. I learned very quickly in politics, he said. You can be a show horse or a workhorse. A show horse did things to get on radio and television. A workhorse did the job, and people appreciated what you did.
And again, Ed Pastor, survived by his wife of 53 years, Verma Pastor, 2 daughters, Yvonne Pastor and Laura Pastor. Laura is a member of the Phoenix City Council, and 4 grandchildren. My sincerest condolences to all of them. And the remembrances of Congressman Ed Pastor poured in on social media. This from Diego Rodriguez, a truly humble and modest public servant who chose service over publicity. John Beaulieu on Facebook, I used to write Ed when he was in Congress. I got a response to every letter. His responses got me involved in the politics beyond just voting. Casey Carey Furlong said, I love this man. He always did what was right for the people, a true leader and humanitarian. Rest in peace with the angels. And from Scott Smith, the former Republican mayor of Mesa and candidate for governor. I'm fortunate to have known and worked with Ed Pastor. We are especially fortunate to have had Ed as a shining example of principled political leadership who put the interests of Arizona and its residents first. And finally, this from Ruben Alonzo, a former top aide to Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton, now a top executive at ASU. Congressman Ed Pastor was a giant. None of the praise you'll hear about this man in the coming weeks will be hyperbolic. In fact, it will be impossible for any of it to do him justice.